So I was prepared myself to record this episode, Bleach episode 6, and I was there thinking, looking from my notes, what I have here, and I was thinking, yeah, it's gonna be a great episode. I can't wait to review it and whatnot. Then I actually remembered what happened in this episode. This episode went crazy, bro. This episode went hard. You could tell they were saving up their budget for this episode. This was a fantastic episode. Straight off the bat, 10 out of 10 episode. It went crazy. The fight scenes, the framing, the cinematography, everything about this episode is a great asset into the Bleach anime lore. It was a great episode. I highly recommend it. I'm a loud mouth Canadian. Let me not waste your time. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your opinions on this episode right now. Tell me right now. I swear to God, you better tell me before I'm coming over and I'm kidnapping your children. Wait, hang on. I didn't mean that. Let me just review. Let me just get to the episode. So it opens up with Uryu, right? I think that's how you say your name. I've been worried about if I could say the guy's name, right? I swear it's Uryu. It has to be Uryu, right? It opens up with him reading his journal he found maybe 2 episodes ago. And it goes into detail about what happened between the Quincy's and the Shinigamis. And it says 1,000 years ago. Right? No, wait. No, I've got my notes wrong. 1,000 years ago, right? That's when the Quincy's were making plans to destroy all hollows. But first they went to the Soul Society. However, they got stomped on arrival. They were just like, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. Makes no sense of you being here. They got stomped out on arrival. Then in 2 years, sorry, I'm just so excited. I'm stumbling over my words right now. So, 1,000 years ago, the Quincy Empire, known as the Licht, was intending to destroy the Hollows. Before they did that though, they invaded the Soul Society but were wiped out by the Court Guards. 200 years closer to this date that we're in right now, they went to the Quincy homeland and killed the remaining Quincy's. That's why it's only Uryu, I think his dad, that's left. And now you have these Stern Ritters who are also there. And Uryu, upon reading this, discovering this, he's sort of disillusioned. He's like, look, Quincy's and Hollows, they can't be friends. They can't associate, they can't do anything. His friendship with Ichigo right now is sort of hanging by a thread. Even though Ichigo hasn't done anything, it's just the fact that Ichigo's a Shinigami that's putting his ass on the line, right? And so the reason why I started to look into this Uryu bit now is because I want to dedicate the rest of this just to the fight we are about to describe right now. Just to this fight. Because this fight goes in. I'm telling you right now, you ain't ready for this, bro. You ain't ready for this. So, the last episode, I made a boob, right? There was a post-credit scene I forgot to watch. This is where we find out Ywhach had wiped Kenpachi. Wiped. Ywhach looked like he just, not a scratch on him, no scars, no blood, nothing. Kenpachi was wiped. We can give him the excuse that he fought 3 Stern Ritters before, but Kenpachi's a beast. A beast. From previous fights in his series, he's a beast. So for Ywhach to just dispatch of him that easily speaks volumes to how strong Ywhach is. So Yamamoto, he saves Kenpachi. Just before Ywhach could finish him off, he brings Kenpachi to a safe distance, and this is the first face-to-face in 1,000 years. And the exchange is like two old rivals seeing each other. It's just like Ywhach's like, yeah, you've gotten old, but the way you're pissed off right now, yeah, you're the same guy. And Yamamoto's like, yeah, you're still that young guy from 1,000 years ago. This ain't gonna be too hard. And we switch over to Shunsui and another Stanra. We never got his name, right? And they're just like, it's like a schoolyard argument. My dad's gonna beat up your dad. No, my dad's gonna beat up your dad. It's just stuff like that. Yamamoto's ambushed by like 3 of the Sternritters who tried to get him by surprise. Boy, when I tell you, Yamamoto just quick slice of his flame sword like nothing happened. It looked like a flame nuke went off in the background. My guy he just took care of them like it was nothing. He is miles ahead of any normal Sternritter. And all the captains like, yep, he's got this, nothing to worry about. Ywhach, he takes a surprising approach to this actually. He goes, well, they should have got involved. Ywhach's sort of like a tyrannical leader. Like when you compare that to Yamamoto, who actually cares about his subordinates, Ywhach is just like, well, if you die, you die. I mean, everything you do is to serve me. So, stay in your lane and you won't die. Simple as. And so, this is when, the exchange starts to happen. Yamamoto tries to cut Ywhach straight off, but he blocks it with his arm and he gets a little cut. But Yamamoto says, you haven't changed, man. You haven't changed. This is when, Jujutsu Kaisen vibes, bro. They start zipping, flying. They start fighting on rooftops. They start like flinging parts of buildings at each other. Yamamoto sets it on fire and sends it back at Ywhach. They're just exchanging blows. This is just like a story of how well these two know each other. It's been 1,000 years, but they managed to keep up with each other. Keep in mind, Yamamoto must be way older than Ywhach at this point now. Way older. Like Yamamoto's like an old man now compared to Ywhach. But Ywhach is keeping up with Yamamoto, and Yamamoto is keeping up with Ywhach. So to get back on the ground, and just to save his life, Ywhach draws his sword to block an attack from Yamamoto. And Yamamoto goes, well, I've been waiting for this, because I want no excuses to when I crush you right about now. Yamamoto activates his Bankai, Zanko no Tachi. I think later on we learn it's the East? Yeah, Zanko no Tachi East. Kyoku, my Japanese is terrible. Kyoku Jitsujin. I think that's how it's pronounced. And then we see like all the water in the Soul Society starts evaporating. The air starts to get hotter. People's skins are turning ashy. Okay, not really, they're just drying out. There was a Sternritter that stole Toshiro's Bankai, and that icing is melting. And he's saying, well, you can't use it now because Yamamoto has activated his Bankai. And so all of the captains are like, oh shit, things is starting to get serious. And so one of you, I think Ywhach's second in command, he's like, it's just a burnt sword. It just looks like it's singed. I don't understand what the hype is about. But he was like, bro, you need to shut up. He's compressed all the flames he just had about now into a single sword. And what makes this a bit more alarming is the fact that just moments ago, the area was completely surrounded in flames. The sky was orange and red. Now it's clear white. Not a flame in sight. And so Yamamoto, Ywhach challenges him. He's like, look, I've seen that Bankai before, bro. Let me see if it's the same as 1,000 years ago. And so Yamamoto, he gets up to him, he swings his blade, he cuts him, nothing happens. But when the tip of the blade touches the ground is eviscerated. The ground is no longer there, it's just a big crack now. And Ywhach's like, what the hell is this? And so he jumps up on the nearest roof, Yamamoto joins him, and Yamamoto explains that I've mastered this to a point where I've compressed and sealed the fire to just the point, the tip of the blade. So if anything touches the tip of this blade, oof, it is obliterated in an instant. It's very powerful ability. It's sort of like Bakugo from My Hero's ability, but just supercharged and condensed into one singular point. It's very impressive. And so Ywhach's like, okay, fair enough. I ain't scared. Fair enough. It just means I have to avoid touching it. It's not a big issue. And so they continue their exchange. Ywhach throws some rocks at him. Yamamoto explodes the rock using the tip. And while during this exchange, Yamamoto managed to break the sword of Ywhach, much to his surprise. And so Yamamoto comes up with this hard line from nowhere. It's such a hard line where it says, all of you died 1,000 years ago, but today I will force you to remember that you are all nothing but a horde of corpses just waiting to be burned. That's such a hard line. If I was Ywhach, I probably would have went home. I'd be like, you know what? You win. I'm going home. I have a lovely wife and child. I got a pet dog. I'm going home. He doesn't, but you know, I would lie just to save my skin. This is where he activates Zanko no Tachi West, Zanjitsu Gokui, which basically turns his body into the Human Torch. He's just constantly erupted in flames, and so nothing can get near him. The ground underneath him is melting as he takes a step. And Yamamoto says that the temperature of him is now 15 million degrees. He is burning the same temperature as the sun right now. And that means Ywhach can't even get close to him. The only thing keeping Ywhach in the fight is the fact that his defensive ability called Blood is shielding his skin. He even states that if it wasn't for this, he probably would have died by now. That's how powerful this Zanko no Tachi West is. But Yamamoto makes a declaration that I need to quickly end this. I need to stop this fight now. Well, as soon as. Because if I keep going, I'm going to burn down the Soul Society. So this ability is so hard, so powerful, it threatens the very environment that it's in. Very powerful ability we're dealing with right now. And so we go back. Well, this is where we talk about Iryu, but we did that already, so we don't need to talk about that. And so Yamamoto, he's just cussing him. He's like, you can't do anything. What's wrong, bro? You're barely doing anything. You're just standing there watching me. What happened? Don't worry, bro. I'ma see you soon. I'm gonna end you real quick right about now. And so he makes a move to go against Ywhach, where he activates, oh god, it's in German, Kirchen Leid Zank Swinger. I am so sorry. And it's supposed to be the ultimate defensive and offensive technique a Quincy can use. It sort of looks like a Naruto sealed, but in neon blue, and you have parts of it rising up from the ground. That's what it looks like. And Yamamoto's like, you want to do that? Bet. He activates Zanko no Tachi. God, this word. Kakajumanoku Shidai Sojin. And it is just this beautiful scene the screen goes black, and then it comes back and you see these red skeletons slowly erupting from the ground as they make their way through. And the way Yamamoto explains it, he said, these are the bodies of the people I've killed using my Bankai, and they are solely loyal to me, and they are here to help me defeat you. And this works in they're going to come to attack you, and they block Yamamoto's attacks against, not Yamamoto, sorry, Ywhach's attack against Yamamoto. And so Ywhach's like, really? Is this what we doing now? The captain of the Soul Society using this sort of tactic? Yamamoto, another cool line, he says, your mouth works well, but your eyes fail you. And as Ywhach watches these skeletons, you realize these are the bodies of Sternritters who he's killed. These are members that he's known, and they just surround Ywhach. And Yamamoto's like, the only way you're gonna kill me is going through them first. And Ywhach is forced. Sorry, I'm getting excited. I'm starting to stutter. I apologize. Ywhach is forced to push through and break through all these skeletons to the point where he's just screaming. But Yamamoto, he does not care. Doesn't care. Because he has lost people. He's lost countless men this entire arc so far. So he does not care at this point. And he activates Zanko Natachi North, Tenchi Kajin, or Kajin most likely. And it just wipes out everything. I mean everything within the vicinity of Yamamoto, including Ywhach. When I say Ywhach got blown away, bro, Ywhach, his torso is cut in half, his arms are locked off his body, his feet are barely hanging. He is blown away. He is just a bloody mess on the floor, and it's clear Yamamoto has won this fight. And when I say this was a whitewash, bro, Ywhach barely stood a chance. Ywhach was like an ambush of one person. It was just this relentless fight. And this is where the episode ends. Thank you so much. And what do you mean? That's right, we find out there's a twist in all of this. As Yamamoto starts to walk away, believing he's won this fight, he hears Ywhach talking. He's like, I'm sorry, he was too strong for me. I tried to kill him, but it was just too much. And then Yamamoto clocks, why would Ywhach be apologizing to someone when he's the one in charge? And then you flash back to the body and you realize it was never Ywhach. It was another Sternritter. Last episode, Kenpachi encountered a Sternritter who can copy someone's ability. Turns out, no, not ability, appearance as well as ability. Turns out that same Sternritter had a twin who could do the same thing he could, and he mimicked Ywhach to keep Yamamoto busy. It's such an ingenious plan. You make Yamamoto use up all of his ability and tire him out, and the real Ywhach comes and he's like, you did well, my bro, thank you for taking my place while I was getting to my business. And he kills the Sternritter. He kills the Sternritter. When I tell you Ywhach is ruthless, Ywhach is ruthless. And so Ywhach says to Yamamoto, you know, I sent him here because I was busy. I went to go visit Aizen. Yep, you heard me. The main villain before this arc, before 2 arcs, the main villain of Bleach, you can argue, Aizen. He's locked up somewhere underneath the headquarters, right? And Ywhach, he went there to convince Aizen to join his side. He's like, look, you don't like the Shinigamis, I don't like the Shinigamis, join my side. But Aizen, he says, nah bro, because you Quincy's are acting like the Shinigamis, so I want nothing to do with you, man. And Ywhach makes to leave, right? But Aizen says the only reason why you came to see me is because you see me as a threat, and you just want me under your watch in case you have to deal with me at some point. And Ywhach, he doesn't lie. He said, yeah, it's true. It's true. The effort needed to take you down with the whole Gyokyu fuse with you, it would take too long. So I just wanted you there because it was easier than trying to take you out. And so we go back to Ywhach, the real Ywhach versus Yamamoto. And Ywhach says, look, you used up all your energy. It's done now. This fight's over, you know it. And just before Yamamoto could activate his Bankai again, he steals it, claiming the only reason why the fake one didn't do so is only cause I'm strong enough to do it. I'm the only one that's able to withstand your massive Bankai, your massive power in order to do so. And so he steals Yamamoto's Bankai. He creates a sword made up from Ryatsu, and he slices through Yamamoto. And that's how this episode ends. 10 out of 10. This episode went in, my guy. It went in. I'm telling you, this is probably the episode of the season so far. Massive W. Massive W. Great animation. The music went hard. The cinematography was epic. The fight scenes were good. This was a 10 out of 10 episode. Easily 10 out of 10 episode. Yamamoto, up until he got sliced down, looked like a G. Ywhach, keeping up with him, he looked tough as well. And even though Yamamoto got sliced down, it just speaks to how capable he was, where they needed a body double just to tire him out. Just to say, okay, let's use up all his energy here and then we'll chop him up. That's how powerful Yamamoto was. We don't know if he's dead. We don't know what's going to happen. We have to wait till next week to find out. But this was a stellar episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think down below in the comment section. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.